For people that are wondering right now if they're going to be back to the office, the honest answer is that you probably will, but it will never be the same. Businesses around the world saw themselves forced to change. Remote work dynamics were a distant promise that is now our current reality. Business owners are starting to replace in-person meetings for Zoom calls, basic instructions into brief text messages, and deadline-based processes instead of hourly micromanagement. And despite all the troubles and obstacles that this crisis has brought upon us, this could turn out for the best. Recently, I found a case study by Nicholas Bloom, a professor of economics at Stanford University. They found that since remote work became a standard within many industries, productivity went up by 13%, sometimes even 20%, generating an increase of roughly $2,000 in annual profits per employee. Having also in mind that working at home can also improve how you feel about your job. You organize your time better, you have more flexibility, you spend more time with your family, and you can reduce distractions, of course. If you're someone that has not made this transition yet, or maybe you're someone that is currently unemployed and just wants to try it out, maybe this could work for you. This is a brief introduction about remote work and maybe what kind of tools would help you to make that transition, or maybe some tools that could make you additional income from home. The first thing that I would recommend someone doing this transition or just starting to work remotely is to specialize on one thing. That could be one service or skill or just one product. It's always going to be easier to focus all your efforts on one thing, and especially on digital marketing. But the most important thing about that advice is that it has to be something that you love, because you're going to be doing it all the time. And I would be pretty miserable if I just wasn't doing what I love. I have learned that sometimes passion is not enough. You have to research and understand if this specific product or this specific skill actually has demand. And I know it sounds awful, but that's just how the world works, and I'm not telling you to do something that you don't like. I'm just telling you to do a correct research on how can you adapt your skills and your passions into something that actually people would buy or just pay for. Understand the possibilities. Now that you're offering one service or one product and it is something that you love, now you can start dreaming. And really, this should be number one, but the only reason I didn't put it on number one is because I know that sometimes it's just harder to dream when there's not a goal in mind. The possibilities with remote work are endless. You could be doing what you love from the comfort of your house, or in front of a beach, or even on a plane. And this is quite incredible, to be honest, because if you start to think about 20-30 years ago, this was basically impossible. And people were chained to those cubicles, to those offices, and I can't believe that so many people were just like chained to these places. Now we have a different possibility. We have the possibility to create a business, to be an employee, or to offer a service or anything really from our home. And that is just amazing. We're going to be able to enjoy our kids. We're going to be able to enjoy our family. We're going to be able to be at home. It's actually going to be worth it to buy a home, because in the past you would spend all your money into a home or into a house, and then you would have to work all day and just enjoy your house at night. That doesn't make any sense, to be honest. And this is basically a tool for freedom in a way. Maybe it could turn out for the worst. I would really like to know your opinion. Do you think that Maybe what's happening is going to make us more free, or is this going to be something bad for humanity? That is really interesting. If you have any comments, comment below. Now let's talk about the good things about remote work. You don't have to pay for gas. You don't have to buy a vehicle. Like, you can get rid of your vehicle if you live like in a city with public transportation. You don't have to pay for restaurants. You don't have to pay for tolls. That's a lot of money, and you can reinvest that money into something that you actually care about, and that is just out of this world. We were so used to just waste money on transportation that now we understand how much we were losing, and that's just incredible. Okay, so now you are doing something that you love, something really specific, and you're dreaming about it. So it's time to diversify. And this is something really important because you cannot bet on one horse. Let's think about Hertz, for example. Renting cars. I believe that is one of the most profitable businesses in the United States. Like, the distances, for example, here in Florida are impossible. There is no way to live in this state without a car. So it only took one pandemic to destroy everything that they had built for years, and that is quite impressive and troublesome, and that is the main reason why a lot of people just diversify their income. How to do that? Just find different sources of income, even if they're not as big as your main source. And there's actually a few apps that could help you diversify your income and just have different sources of income, so you don't get like too attached to your main source. And now I'm going to show you a few apps that I use in order to make additional income. The first one that I would recommend is Turo, which allows you to put your car for rent for anyone that needs it for a few days. Of course, this is currently not working as well as before, just because of the quarantine and social distancing, but once this blows over, I think this could be a really good possibility. Another option is Airbnb. It's a mobile app that allows you to rent a spare room you have at home for any tourist visiting your city. Another opportunity is to use our mobile app Rentcycle, which allows you to rent your sports gear near your community, and you will actually receive that money, and it's completely free, so you can try it out. Okay, so now that you have different sources of income and different projects, it's time to organize all the stuff that you have to do. So I use some apps and tools in order to do this. Okay, so for this you can use Slack. It's a way to communicate with your teammates or with your partners. Then I use Monday as well. Monday is an app that allows you to organize all the tasks that you have, and Asana as well. It's basically the same. This will allow you as well to communicate with all your co-workers and partners, and to have an effective remote workflow. Okay, and last but not least, I believe that it is really important to know how to rest. Sometimes knowing how to rest, it's almost as difficult as knowing how to work. Our body needs to rest. It's a reality. Maybe you don't feel it right now, but you will start to feel it as you go. And especially if your work is at home, that could be a problem. So my advice to you would be to have separate rooms on your house to do both things. That is going to affect the relationships that you have with other people, or with people that actually live inside your home. So I would not recommend that. Just separate it. Just don't mix it. Just separate your schedule. Give your family some time, your girlfriend, your friends. Just separate it. It's not healthy for you just to keep on working all the time, and it's actually going to be bad for your business as well. If you're not resting, you're not going to take good decisions, and if you don't take good decisions, then your company is not going to perform as well. Try to have different spaces for resting and working. If you spend 8 hours a day working through your computer, try to step away from the device for a few hours. Allow yourself to do something different, to have hobbies that allow you to clear your mind, meditate, read, educate yourself, spend time with your family and friends. At the end, having a healthy personal life can make or break your business. So these are the first things to have in mind in order to start working remote. It's pretty simple, pretty basic. We'll be doing more profound videos about this. Okay, so just think about it. Think about what kind of service or product you want to offer as a digital brand or as a remote worker. Sometimes, in order to complete something big, you only have to do little tasks every day, and that would be it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you on the next one.